It is the Dodgers that take game one at Dodger Stadium, 7-5, a game the Padres had two multiple run leads in for their ace, Dylan Cease, and they cannot capitalize on a golden opportunity. And a lot of strategy will be questioned tonight from Mike Shildt as well. We'll be with you for the next 90 minutes or so. Make your way in. This is the wrap-up show with John and Jim on a Saturday night. Game one of a 5-game series goes to the Dodgers. Game two is Sunday. Subscribe, you know the deal. Smash the like button, you know the deal. Follow us, you know the deal. We appreciate the supers. We really do. We'll react to all of them. Click the $ below the chat box. We'll react to every single super chat here tonight. If you want to become a member, you can click the join button down below. Just a golden opportunity. It was never going to be easy. The Padres put themselves in a position there, even in the ninth, Jim, where they had the go-ahead run at the plate in the form of Manny Machado, who struck out against Blake Treinen. The Dodgers completely went for it. Kopech and Treinen in the 8th and 9th having to win the game. And they won the game. And for whatever reason, and there's a lot to react to here, Jim, and you watched all this game, and I was calling a San Diego State football game and watching this in the background. But how many times for 48 damn hours in a row do you say you can't allow Shohei Ohtani to be the difference maker? How many times do we say that? And to allow a 3-run home run to Shohei Ohtani as basically the game-changing momentum play in game one, for me, is freaking inexcusable. And now the Padres, to their credit, took a lead, then gave it back up. But we'll react. You watch the whole thing. I just can't get beat by Shohei Ohtani. I'm sorry. And especially not in game one. And that's kind of what happened here tonight.
I think we could agree that Derek Jeter knows a little more baseball than both of us combined. Can we agree? Can we agree on that? Can we agree that Derek Jeter, Hall of Famer, 4-time World Series champion, 3,000 hit club, Yankees captain, that he knows 5 times. Sorry. What did I say? 3 or 4?
You said 4.
5 times. My bad. Knows a little more baseball than we do, right? I would say yes. I watched some of the start of that post-game show. Why? I don't know. And the first thing that came out of Jeter's mouth was, I can't believe they didn't walk Ohtani. And I'm like, if Jeter's saying it, then when we say it, I think it holds a little validation. Like, we're backed up by Derek freaking Jeter here. The situation in the 4th inning. Sorry, the 2nd inning, my bad. Runners on 1st and 2nd. Okay. You have 2 outs in the inning. You have a free base open. If there was 1 out, I guess I understand. If there's no outs.
When you said base open, wait. Okay. Because again, it was 1st and 2nd when he hit the home run, or 2nd and 3rd, Jim. And how many outs were there in the inning?
Okay, so hold on.
Again, I'm calling a San Diego State football game. You're going to have to bear with me tonight.
Will Smith walked. Gavin Lux then singled. Tommy Edmonds then strikes out. Miguel Rojas pops up to 2nd. So you have
2 outs in the inning?
Makes it even worse. Yeah, that's why.
That is so horrific. And I have to interrupt you for 1 second. Because as complimentary as we've been of Mike Shildt, and I think to have your worst night strategically happen in game one of the NLDS is really going to be tough to potentially A, overcome, and B, to deal with. But there's 2 outs in the inning, and Dylan Cease, who doesn't have good numbers against Shohei Ohtani, and Shohei Ohtani, who's literally on cloud 9 for a month.
12 for us, 15 with runners in scoring position.
You're gonna face him there. That's the spot. We think we got a plan for Shohei Ohtani. This is what he said yesterday. We think we got a plan to get him out. And this is the plan. This is the spot you want to tempt fate in. Yeah. Not for me.
No, you're right. I think Mike Shildt has done a fantastic job all season long on the field. Rarely has he had a moment where I'm like, what the fuck is he doing? Rarely. Maybe 1 time this year. But I can't even remember that, to be honest with you. That was a moment of like, are you kidding me?
How can you not walk him to face Mookie Betts, who you have to ask to beat you because of his struggles in the postseason in 2022 and 2023? If Betts beats you, we all have an excuse. You can't let Ohtani do it. So it better damn well be Mookie Betts or Freddie Freeman.
And by the
way, the home run he hit off Dylan Cease, I just watched the sequence. He hit a 4-seam fastball over the plate. If nothing else, you can't be throwing anything over the plate in that spot, I'm intentionally walking him. But if you want to get cute and see him chase stuff that's 18 inches off the plate or up, down, or indifferent, to get beat on a four-seam fastball over the plate is
look. They didn't end up getting a lead later in the game because they did. They ended up leading the game 5-3. There were other moments in the game that also cost them. Manny had a huge error later in that game. The team went 2 for 11 with runners in scoring position. Jeremiah Estrada did not look good once again in his postseason so far this year. And Manny had a bad strikeout to end the game. But that moment, even though it just only tied up the game, it injected all the momentum in life into the Dodgers that they needed. They go down 3-0 early. Manny hits a 2-run bomb off Yamamoto. Yamamoto is, he just did not look good. He got, you kind of felt like it was going to happen. We talked about it. Like Yamamoto, that's a good matchup for the Padres. And they saw him very well. And they kind of have the Dodgers maybe doubting themselves a little bit. And what did I say was the X factor in the series? It was Shohei Ohtani. Now, again, it is game one. This is a long series. Tomorrow now turns into a must win, but it is just game one. So it's no time to fully panic yet. But I will talk, and we will talk a lot about that second inning. That was a moment that you could have 100% avoided. And if Mookie hits a double there, and it's 3-2 or whatever.
If Mookie hits a grand slam, I have a legitimate reason. Ohtani is not a comparable hitter today to Mookie Betts. Let's not kid ourselves. Is Betts capable? Is he a former MVP? Yes. But you cannot compare Shohei Ohtani really to any other hitter in baseball today. And for Ohtani with 2 outs to do that to you, and to your point, it ties the game. But Jim, a 3-run home run with 2 outs in the guy's first ever postseason game changes everything. Now, to the Padres' credit, they take a lead. And we'll get to all these supers. We appreciate you guys. If you're here, subscribe. We're going to be talking about this series all series long and beyond.
It's going to be a long
night. Offseason into hopefully a National League Championship series for the Padres. They got to overcome a game. Subscribe here on Content for Padres fans. Smash the like button. Thank you for the supers. We'll get to all of them. Click the $ below the chat box. The other moment that, again, I was calling this game, but I saw happen in front of me, but didn't really fully understand the circumstance as to why, was when the Padres elected to intentionally walk Mookie Betts with a base open when the count was 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah.
Basically putting themselves in a position where later the inning would unravel. Now, if you want to just walk Mookie Betts, okay, but to face him and get it to 2-2 and then put him on seems a little bit like ill-advised / over-managing.
And by the way, he ended up scoring in that inning. And what's the adage in baseball? Like, walks are going to kill you, and intentional walks could also kill you as well.
Other than Ohtani.
Depending on how it's done. If you had runners on second and third and you wanted the matchup of Morejon against Freeman, that's fine.
But it was sure. Yeah, it makes sense.
It was a 2-2 count. You had 2 strikes on him. And maybe Mookie comes through, but again, you don't know that because you didn't play that out.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just like thinking to myself, like, that was another moment in this game that was bad on Mike Shilt's part. You can't a 2-2 count, and then you just give up and you walk him.
Why did it happen in that sequence, Jim? As in, they start the at bat. Why at 2-2 is my question. Was it 2-0 into 2? Was it 0-2 into 2-2? What were the 4 pitches?
It was. Hold on. I think it was 2-1, and then it was a pass ball. Runner scored. Runners move up. Now it's runners at second and third.
3-1.
No, it was 1-2. My bad. I think it was 1-2.
1-2 pass ball, then freeze the base, and he puts them on.
Yeah. I'm like fairly sure. My head is like a scrambled egg right now.
What inning was this, Jim?
This was in
bottom of the 4th.
Bottom of the 4th.
Okay, let's just walk through the inning. Ground out, single. Morejon comes on for Cease. Ohtani singles, the bases are loaded.
So, yeah, it was a 2-2 count. So he had a 1-2 count. Then ball 2 was a passed ball. Run scores,
scores a run.
Moves up. second and third. Now it's 3-2, but then he just gives up and Shildt calls for the intentional walk there. And then
I don't understand why you're setting up a force play. I mean, are you trying to force Freeman into a double play in that spot? That's probably overly aggressive. And I'll explain as to why. Because you're in the fourth inning and you're now giving up a base to set up a possible double play on a quote unquote, whatever, banged up Freddie Freeman. Freeman then reaches on a fielder's choice, and then the Teoscar Hernandez hit.
Well,
gives the Dodgers a 6-5 lead.
Look, they got the ground ball from Freddie, but it was in such a no man's spot that Solano had to literally make like a Superman throw home, which barely got the runner at home plate.
But why are you playing for a double play in the fourth inning on Freddie Freeman? You know what I mean? Isn't that not isn't that a little aggressive? Like, hey, if we can get him to ground into the double player in the fourth inning, we'll preserve the lead. Yeah, maybe. And then there's still 5 more innings. It's not like if you preserve the lead there, you're guaranteed to win. It just seems like overly managing. Like over managing in that spot.
Think about this. Ready for this? They intentionally walked Mookie Betts more tonight than they did Ohtani, which didn't get intentionally walked one time. They went straight up against Ohtani every single at bat. Now, in the late innings, Adam and Scott struck him out.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. The damage was already done. And this is a Dodger team that's tight. They've lost in consecutive. Think about the circumstance when Ohtani hits the home run. They're tight. They've been bounced in the DS. It's Ohtani's first game. Everyone's tight in the building. You got a 3-0 lead. It's a dream start. It's the perfect scenario. You've got your ace, Dylan Cease, on the mound, who's capable of going 8 innings on his best day, right? And being virtually unhittable, if not unhittable. We've seen that this year.
Mm-hmm.
But you're going to allow them to get back in the game in that manner? Of all manners in which to allow the Dodgers to get back into a game, the one player that's invincible in there is Shohei Ohtani.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen Betts be human the last 2 postseasons. We've seen Freeman at times be human. Not to say there's a guarantee they'll be human this series, but you get the point. Of all players to basically level the playing field in that spot, to me, really is inexcusable. And I'm sorry, we can act as if it's only one game, and it is. But a team as good as Los Angeles is not the team that I'm tempting fate with. And I'm not saying they gave away a game. We don't know what happens if
they didn't give away the game.
Walk Ohtani. We don't know what happens if they don't intentionally walk Mookie Betts, but they probably made it a little tougher to win by facing Ohtani specifically there to tie the score. Let's get to some of these supers because there's a ton of them here. If you're here, appreciate your support of the channel. Click the $ below the chat box if you want to support our work. If you want to see your comment on screen, if you want us to react to it, click the $ below the chat box. What do you got?
And just real quick before we get to the super, we're talking a lot about Ohtani and rightfully so, and the moves that Shildt decided to go with that ended up burning him. But I will say from the perspective of what the Padres didn't do, in particular Dylan Cease and the rest of the pitching staff tonight, the reason why these things are being talked about right now is because they couldn't get anybody out in the bottom of the lineup. That was, to me, a massive problem. When the bottom of the Dodgers lineup goes Edman. 5 for 12, that can't happen. If that happens, you're fucked. And that's exactly what happened tonight.
But this is the problem with them. Everyone talks about Ohtani and Betts and Freeman. The truth is, this Dodger team right now has a legitimate 1 through 9, very similar to San Diego, in my opinion, that they're capable of beating you in multiple ways. They just are.
Lux, Edman, and Rojas, they go 5 for 12 tonight.
Yeah, but if it's not Lux, Edman, and Rojas, it could be Smith, Teoscar Hernandez, Max Muncy, Kike Hernandez. It's a good enough lineup that I'm not going to be surprised if the others beat you.
Well, in comparison, the bottom half of the Padres lineup went 1 for 11.
It's one game, but I'm not going to be surprised if the Dodgers lineup produces.
No, me neither. But
that's their calling card. I'm going to be surprised if their pitching staff completely shoves the entire series, but I'm not going to be surprised if their lineup comes through.
But my point is, John, that I'm not talking about Betts, Ohtani, Freeman, Hernandez. I'm talking about Lux, Edman, Rojas.
But that's kind of, I see what you're saying. I'm just saying I think that's what makes them probably a favorite in the series, that their lineup, I get it. They're nowhere near those hitters, but
they're not. Those 3 guys right there should not be going 5 for 12 in a game, or 5 for 11 in a game, or whatever it is.
All right, let's get to some of these supers. Rocket, thank you for your super chat. Solano and Cronenworth been terrible, and pitching let us down. Manny being a rally killer, completely winnable, but just blew it. On to the next one. I mean, the situation for Manny Machado in the 9th inning is tailor-made. He's killed Blake Treinen in his career, 6 for 20. He's hit multiple home runs off him. Treinen's on the ropes, man. He never has to sit down when he pitches, but they brought him in the 8th. He sits for 10 or 15 minutes. They bring him back up. He is on the freaking ropes in the 9th inning, and Manny doesn't come through in that spot. Now, he homered earlier in the game, had an error like you talked about, but man, you can't dream of a better scenario for Manny Machado, but you just got to come through.
Yeah, like Manny early on has been, he was great. Hit that 2-run home run, but there's been too many times in the last 2 postseasons where it feels like late game situations with Manny at the plate hasn't come through. And that's kind of the difference between maybe winning a World Series and not. I hate to say it. I mean, I don't want to put all this pressure on Manny, but it's kind of what's happening right now where, I mean, how many times in 2022 in the Phillies series, Manny had opportunity late in the game?
Yeah.
He didn't come through. And tonight, once again, he didn't come through. Like, I'm not saying he's not clutch, but he's got to be clutch, and he's got to be clutch in these moments. He's got to have, I'd much rather have a 2-run home run in the 9th inning. That means more than a 2-run home run in the 1st inning.
I mean, it's just, again, I go back to 2022 postseason and how clutch Bryce Harper was. And we're all like, can Manny have a Harper? I get it's not easy, but can Manny have a Harper-esque postseason one time in his career as a Padre? And again, maybe that's asking for too much. And he did homer, and it was a big one in this game. But can you imagine if it shapes out differently there in the 9th inning? I mean, just such a huge spot to finish up game 1. And again, here's the thing. If the Padres somehow rally there, the Dodgers went all in for the game.
All in, dude.
From Kopech to Treinen for 5 outs. I don't know how many pitches Treinen threw, but it was a ton.
40 plus, almost 40.
So they had to win the game, and Manny Machado could have taken it out of their hands, and he didn't come through. William, thank you for the super chat. He says, don't want to see Cease in game 5. Merrill at bats were amazing. Let's get him tomorrow. Well, you could line up. Let's just talk through that. It'll be Cease in game 5 if it makes it there, but you would have Darvish on normal rest. I think you're already asking a lot of you, Darvish, considering you only returned in September. You don't have Joe Musgrove. And my guess is if you stretch this thing out to a 5th game and you're sitting there at Dodger Stadium, I guess we'll see how you Darvish throws tomorrow. Maybe go 6 scoreless innings. But my guess is Dylan Cease would be pitching game 5 for the Padres. That's my guess.
Well, that's going to be scary because Dylan Cease was not good tonight. Like, he just wasn't. His command was not good. The at bat to Ohtani was really bad. He threw a lot of pitches. 3 1/3, 6 hits, 5 earned runs. Now the two runs that are tacked on to him was because of the bullpen and Estrada and Morejon. But he just did not pitch well tonight. He did not pitch like even close to an ace, and they needed an ace performance from him. I'm not saying he needed to go 8 innings, but he needed to give you at least 6. And I think he needed to go 6, giving up 2 runs or less. And he wasn't even close to that.
No, it wasn't encouraging. You're 100% right. And you are really asking a lot of you, Darvish, tomorrow, considering, again, he missed 3 months. Yeah, he's been back for 4 or 5 starts. It's a must-win game. You don't go down 2-0 to the LA Dodgers and envision yourself winning the series. Is it possible? Of course. We've seen baseball history. Look at the 84 Padres, but you just would feel awful about your chances if you're down 2-0. You'd feel awful about them. Padres Pain, thank you for the super chat. He says, as we predicted, the series will be decided by pitching performances. Bounce back tomorrow. I mean, the Padres are fully capable of the bounce back. The season is far from over. I like my chances if I'm a Padres fan, thinking that they will bounce back. That's what this team does. This is who they are, but they just got to have it. They just have to have it, from Darvish to the offense to the bullpen. They got to play one of their better games of the year. They can't leave it in doubt. They have to have game 2, and we'll see if they get it or not. And also, if you're LA, you kind of smell blood. Now, LA won game 1 in 2022, lost 3 straight games.
Right.
LA wins game 1 in 2024. Does anything change this time around? We'll find out over the next couple of days.
Yeah, I mean, the difference between that series and this series is You had a healthy Joe, and you had Darvish, Snell, Musgrove going 2, 3, 4. You have now Darvish, King, Perez going game 4. And I do think that if you're down 2-1, you're really going to have to think long and hard about, do we really want to throw Martin Perez in an elimination game?
Good point.
That's going to be tough.
Do you want to throw Dylan Cease on 3 days rest?
I mean, if he's going to pitch like tonight, no. Right. Like yeah. So
JD Gacho, appreciate you, man. Thank you guys. If you're here, please subscribe. And if you're here, thank you for the super chats. I'll get to all of them. Click the $ below the chat box. JD Gacho, good point. We talked about it. Don't ignore the others. Lux and Edmund, both 2 for 4. Lux had the game at the 9th inning web jam. Even Miguel Rojas made a nice basket catch late. This is postseason baseball. I mean, was Jake Cronenworth the first player on your 2022 bingo card for the big moment? I mean, I don't think he's the first player on your bingo card. If you're a Dodger fan, you're probably like, are you serious? So it's going to happen. It's not always going to be the Ohtanis and the Machados that are the difference between winning and losing. I think everyone factored in tonight, from Ohtani to Rojas to whomever else. Clearly, everyone factored in tonight for LA.
Yeah, I'm looking at the lineup tonight for the Dodgers. And while Ohtani had a big night and Teoscar Hernandez had essentially the game-winning hit, that bottom of the lineup, to me, is what is the trickle-down effect of what happened in that game. Like, if you contain Lux, Edman, and Rojas, say they only get 1 hit combined, or maybe even 2, it then creates like situations where you're not facing Ohtani with runners in scoring position, and you're facing Ohtani with nobody on to start an inning potentially.
True.
And that's what really, really killed the Padres tonight, is they just let the bottom of their lineup, the Dodgers, have a really, really good night. And in turn, that is probably what made it so hard for Mike Shildt to not throw up the 4 fingers. Because, I bet you if it were different where there's nobody on, maybe I don't know. But again, when you have a situation where the bottom half of the Dodgers lineup goes 5 for 12, you're asking for trouble.
Okay, but hear me out for a second. Them going 5 for 12 is part of a baseball game. Whether we think it was costly to the Padres or not, we can all agree that any player is capable of getting a hit in a lineup, and it does happen in baseball. The thing that is not part of a baseball game is the decisions you make as a manager. They're either right or wrong. Yeah. So Miguel Rojas can go 3 for 3 all night long. That doesn't mean you should face Shohei Ohtani in a 3-run game with 2 outs. Like,
totally right.
1 and 1 don't make 2 in that circumstance. 2 things can be true. Okay, the bottom of the lineup was really good. And also the decision to face Shohei Ohtani and or intentionally walk Mookie Betts completely backfires and is completely magnified in a game like that. So again, it's a combination of events that cost the Padres this game 7-5. I can more live with guys coming through that shouldn't come through than a decision I make that costs my team when the decision is clear as day and has been discussed for 48 hours. And truthfully, if I watched this entire game and wasn't calling an Aztec game and I had completely allowed my brain to wrap my head around this, I'd be furious. Mm-hmm. But I've been pulled in so many directions. The fact that Shohei Ohtani, of all people, hit a 3-run home run with 2 outs in the 2nd inning, to me, is utterly inexcusable. Simple as that. I'm not going to go lose my mind on it, but I've been as complimentary as Mike Shildt in game managing as anyone, but I got to be unbiased here, and that's utter insanity to get beat by him in that spot. Sorry. If Betts hits a grand slam off you, great. If Ohtani hits a 3-run home run off you, you look like a fool, and that's what happened tonight. You know what it reminds me of a little bit? And again, I'm going to use a basketball reference. Like when a team hits a big time 3, like, okay. When Steph Curry, it's the same thing. Steph Curry hits a big time 3, it means more. It makes the crowd go into a frenzy differently when Steph hits a 3 compared to somebody else. When Ohtani hits a home run, it makes the crowd go into a frenzy more than anybody else. And it felt like once he hit that home run, the Dodgers collectively, it was like,
like a sigh of relief. Like, okay, we
100%.
can breathe, you know?
Yeah,
And
we're back even. We're good. Second chance on life. All right, let's get to some of
yeah,
these supers. Rocket, thank you, man. He says to our point, walk Ohtani every time he's up to bat with 2 outs and runners in scoring position. Give me an effing break. Take your chances and let Mookie beat you. How many times have we said it, Jim?
we talked a
Doesn't
lot
mean
about
we're.
that.
I
Yeah.
mean, it doesn't mean it's going to always work. It's like deciding to it's like blackjack. You just play percentages. It's like playing cards. I mean,
Mhm.
the percentages don't always work out, but at least you have the advantage with percentages. I'm sorry, the percentages would say Shohei Ohtani is more likely to come through in that spot than Mookie Betts.
The only time I'm not walking Ohtani is if he leads off an inning,
Yeah,
you know? I mean, even then, if you're up
you
by
could
a run
argue it.
late, you could argue it. I'm talking like if you're up by a run in the 9th inning, Ohtani's at to bat, it's also pretty hard to walk him there.
Sure,
But
of
I would think
course. Yeah.
I would much rather have that face that situation and face him straight up that way than 2 on and 2 outs with the base open. Again,
I got to change my strategy now. If I'm like Shildt, okay, you got
Yeah.
beat one time. You got outplayed strategically by the Dodgers and Ohtani. Don't let it happen again.
Yeah, because
Play by different rule. I don't care how long you've managed. I don't care what you think you
Mhm.
know about getting him out. I'm sorry. Play by different rules of Shohei Ohtani, or it's going to cost you again.
He right now is Barry Bonds.
Correct.
Okay. You have to look what the
Treat him like
Angels
it.
did. What the Angels did in the 2002 World Series. I think Bonds got walked like 12 times in that series. Now, granted, I think he hit 3 home runs, but I bet you if I went back and looked, the home runs that he hit didn't cost the Angels the game. Like he never hit a go-ahead home run or a game-tying home run. He added on to leads, and then he hit home runs with nobody on and up by 2 in the 9th inning.
Yeah, not down 3 with 2 on.
Yeah. You have to just concede that you are not going to win against Ohtani, especially with runners in scoring position. They showed the graphic on television. He's
He
like
comes
12
through
for
like
his
I know.
he's 12 for his last 15 with
He's a
runners in scoring position.
machine.
Now,
Treat him
yeah,
differently. Don't treat him like he's some baseball player that's hot. Treat him like he's on a different planet. That's how you
yeah.
have to treat him. Andrew, thank you for the super. He says, and now here's the opposite side of the argument. So thank you, Andrew.
Mhm.
Can't walk Ohtani there.
Okay.
Not why we lost. Bad plate discipline all night. Came out on fire all 3 games. Fizzled against bullpens all 3. Cease bad today. Fair, not why they lost, not the
Correct.
only reason why.
No.
It didn't happen with 2 outs in the bottom of the 9th inning in a 2-run game and he had a 3-run home run.
Right. Yeah, no.
Now, is it a huge factor in the game? I would argue absolutely, and a momentum swinger and a primary factor in the loss for the Padres. But of course, there's other things. Of course, there are other things in there. Their offense was quiet late in the game, to everyone's collective point.
2 for
I
11 with
like to
runners in
think
scoring
5 runs.
position.
I like to think 5 runs is enough to win postseason games, and it wasn't tonight. But LA's offense is better than most offenses in baseball.
Yeah, it's not the reason why they lost the game because obviously it only tied the game there. But from a like momentum standpoint and a pressure off the back standpoint, I guarantee you, if you go into that Dodgers clubhouse tonight and you say, what was the feeling after Ohtani hit that 3-run home run in the second? I bet you 100% of those players thought to themselves, we can take a deep breath now. It's okay. Like we feel good, you know? And that kind of to me played out through the rest of this game for everybody in that lineup because it felt like everybody could take a deep breath and they weren't feeling like, oh my God, the pressure's on right now because the last 2 postseasons where we have just sucked. Now, again, reel it back. It's 1 game. This happened in 2022. They lost 5-0 in that game, if you remember. And then
they trailed 5-0.
They lost 5. Didn't they lose not 5-0 in game 1 or they lose 5-3?
No, didn't they hit 3 home runs in that game? Or it was like 5-3 or 5-4 in the end, wasn't it?
In game 1?
Did they? Okay, maybe not. Okay.
Maybe they did. I don't remember, but they lost.
Okay.
And And anyway, they lost that game, and they had an epic win in game 2. Manny also had a big
5-3.
home. Okay, 5-3. I remember they went up 5-0. That's right. And then they came back and but to Andrew's point, this, and it's we haven't talked about it yet, but it's kind of now a little bit of a trend. It's 3 games, but it's a little bit of a trend. They, and by they I mean the Padres offense, have done nothing off of the bullpens for the Braves and now the Dodgers in game 1. 2 for 11 with runners in scoring position. They scored 5 runs off Yamamoto pretty quickly. And then after that, they were done. They couldn't do anything.
Well, I have a strategy, and that's fair. But if I'm going to be told all second half long, this is the best bullpen in baseball,
You better act like it.
This rotation's the best in the postseason, I got a strategy. Hold multiple run leads multiple times. That's my strategy. Well, yes, you're right. You'd love the offense to score more than 5 runs. Guess what? That's asking for too much sometimes. Here's a better strategy. Hold multiple run leads with your vaunted rotation and staff. And they didn't do it. And that to me is way more. And it's all a story. But you don't build this thing with Cease and Musgrove, I know he's out, Darvish, King, and put this bullpen together to blow leads in the postseason. Multiple run leads.
Estrada, when he came in against Atlanta the other night, did not look good. And then tonight against the Dodgers did not look good at all. Morahone didn't look good either. The only 2 guys that had that, I mean, actually 3, I think Adam Hoeing and Scott, they all looked really, really good. But the Estrada and Morahone combo there, 2 guys that have been here, they didn't get traded for. That was the part of the game that, the part of the bullpen, I should say, that let him down.
Let's get to some of these supers. There's a ton to get to, and I'm going to skip ahead to every so often in a moment for his very generous super chat, but I do want to thank JD Gacho. He says, Doc Roberts out managing Mike Shildt, not on my bingo card. I think that's a fair point, and I think a lot of people would agree with that. The series isn't over, but it has not started well for Mike Shildt. Let me get to this. Thank you every so often, because you've been here all season long. This is super generous.
Thank you, buddy.
So we appreciate you. So thank you. How about some clap emojis in the chat for every so often? Again, if you want to contribute, if you want to support, if you want to get your comment on screen, we'll get to all of them tonight. Just settle in, grab a drink, grab some food, settle in. We're going to be with you all night. Click the $ below the chat box. He says, feels like the management got hyper-focused in preparing to get Ohtani out than actually playing the game by situation and putting him on. Merrill also said he can't get good reads on hits because it's too loud to hear the crack of the bat. Asking a lot of you. That's interesting. Maybe it was an amazing atmosphere. Like, let's be fair, because I've been critical of Dodger Stadium crowds. I just thought the atmosphere was great. It was a great postseason baseball game. It was an awesome atmosphere. We'll see it at Petco Park as well. I just think maybe with Ohtani, Jim, they've gotten a little cute. They're like, you know what? We had a relatively successful regular season in dealing with him. He didn't completely burn us at any point. We won the regular season series. Whatever we did in the regular season work, why don't we do it again in the postseason? But for me, all bets are off. He's playing out of his mind. He's the one guy that doesn't have the stress of these other dudes that were here in 2022 and 2023 when they fell flat on their face. And it's like, you might have a strategy in a boardroom. What's the old Mike Tyson line? It's like, everyone's got a plan until you get punched in the face. If your plan against Shohei Ohtani is execute, it's a dumb freaking plan. The plan should be, how do we make sure he can be least costly to our chances of advancing? It's as simple as that. What's least costly to our chances of winning or advancing? Facing him or not facing him based on what circumstances? And to face the guy with 2 outs is asking for problems.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what presented itself tonight.
Yeah. I mean, it gave the Dodgers life. It was a really bad managing call on the part of Mike Shildt. And I would hope, and I haven't heard Mike Shildt postgame, by the way, but I would hope, or see what he said, that he kind of was like, okay, that has to change, or something along those lines, because if you're expecting to have a different result, that's probably not going to happen. It's like the definition of insanity, doing the same thing over and over and over again, expecting a different result, but yet every time it it just yields the same thing. So the Ohtani thing was really, really bad. I think that you could argue that the Mookie Betts intentional walk in a 2-2 count was also really bad. But those are things that happened from a pitching standpoint, and we haven't really talked a lot about the offense tonight and the fact that you had, I think, 1 hit off of their relievers. You had was that right? Yeah, no, sorry, 2. You had 2 hits off their relievers tonight, and you were 2 for 11 with runners in scoring position. And in the 8th and 9th innings, you have 2 on, and you don't get a run across the plate in both of those innings. I thought Manny came out hot, but truthfully, after that 2-run home run, he had a bad game. He had an error that cost the team a run, and then he also struck out with 2 on in the 9th. You got to be better than that. Just plain and simple. You know, it's I love Manny Machado, and to start the game the way that they started was such a
dream.
Exactly, a dream scenario. Like, we're fucking here. Let's go. And then he proceeds. This error, I don't know if you saw it, John. It was a bad error.
I didn't see it.
It was really bad. He just sailed it to Solano, and it was not good.
And that's a big difference, 1 run there. Now, I know you lose by 2, but like you said, 2 on in the 8th, higher leverage. 2 on in the 9th, higher leverage. We're going to get back to the conversation. We do want to remind you about our title sponsor, Mark Nimitz from Farmers Insurance. If you have any insurance need, get in contact with Mark. He's been with us on this channel for like 3.5 years. He's an amazing insurance agent. Take it from us. I've got homeowners and life and earthquake insurance through Mark. He could save you $750 by switching. We met someone down at Naughty Barrel the other day. He's like, I got my insurance through Mark. Great decision. So listen, if you've been watching us, click the link in the description down below. Save money. If you ever need him for a claim, he's going to save you thousands of dollars. And he's going to save you so much time. I had a flood in 2022. He saved us so much money. So click the link in the description down below. He's a San Diegan lifelong Padres fan. He'll give you free quotes online. He does auto, he does home, he does renters, life, earthquake, whatever you need. He's there for you. He's the title sponsor of the Wrap-Up Show. He's been with us for 3.5 years. If you support the channel, if you're in California, get in contact. Let Mark Nimitz save you money. Click that link in the description down below.
Yeah, all his information is on that ticker there. When you reach out to Mark, let him know that John and Jim from the Wrap-Up Show sent you.
I want to get back to these super chats. Again, if you're here, please subscribe. Year-on content for Padres fans. You can smash the like button for us. You can follow us on X at John Schaefer, at Jim Russell SD. We'll get to every single super chat here tonight as the Padres lose game 1 in LA. 7-5. Game 2 is Sunday night, 5:38. First pitch. Is that correct, Jim?
No, it's 5:08.
Thank you. Juan Soto Walks, thank you for the super chat. He says, yes, it was bad that Ohtani beat us, but offense didn't add on after Yama Meatball went out. That's a problem. Yeah, Jim's been harping on it. It is. It's a problem. Again, is that it doesn't mean they can't do it tomorrow. You know what I mean? Just because they didn't score after the second inning tonight doesn't mean they can't score after the second inning tomorrow. I don't know if it carries over what's happened later in games or not. I guess it's a story until it's not a story. So maybe they got to score some runs late for it to not be a story. But I don't know if them not scoring after the second inning tonight has any impact on their ability to score or not score tomorrow after the second inning.
The good thing is Trinan threw 39 pitches tonight. Kopech threw 22.
That's freaking crazy, dude.
Yeah. Yeah. So
they combined just throw 61 pitches.
Yeah. And I think they got, how many outs did they get? 3.
6.
They got 6 outs combined. Yeah. Trinan went
freaking crazy.
Trinan went 1 2/3. Kopech just did not have it. He just could not find the strike zone.
Dude, I'm sorry. I'm sitting there watching Trinan stuff in the 8th, and I was driving in the 9th. His stuff went on is so effing filthy. His stuff can be. Now, they've hit him. There's some guys that have had success off him, and it was not easy. Make no mistake. And if the Padres see him a second, third, fourth time, I'll take their chances. But when his stuff looks like that, and it does a lot, it's tough to hit. It's just flat out tough to hit.
I know that Solano has been struggling.
Oh yeah,
of late.
He had that huge spot there, right? Huge.
But the pitch that he struck out on is literally it's an unhittable pitch, and you can't do anything about it.
Was that the freaking sweeper moving pitch?
It was like, fucking
it's like
give me
wiffle.
Give me the best right-handed hitter in the history of the sport.
I mean,
I don't
there's
know.
a number of them, but yeah.
Albert Pujols in his prime.
Right.
Albert Pujols in his prime is swinging that pitch and missing.
His stuff looks like a wiffle ball sometimes when he throws it.
Like he wasn't fully on tonight. I mean, he had a walk.
Yep.
I think he had a couple walks. He had a couple walks tonight. And that pitch to Solano was just such a good pitch. It's just so hard to lay off of. I mean, I'm not going to get too mad at Solano there, but also like you got to try to come through.
Yeah.
And it's hard
You
pitch.
can't go 0 for 4 or whatever.
One thing that I do think like is a positive. Jackson Merrill at the plate had a hell of a game. In my opinion.
Dude, how about I saw in the 8th inning, man, when he's fouled pitch off after pitch off and then reaching on the walk.
I thought that was an at bat for him.
That was incredible.
They were like, oh my God. It was just an
special.
incredible at bat. I think that the play in center off the bat of Teoscar Hernandez.
I'll need to see that.
It is such a hard play. It's kind of almost in between. Now, maybe if he makes a better jump, he gets it. But, I
need to see that play.
Yeah, it was a tough play. Like if he dove for it all out and he misses it and then goes to the wall, then it's complete disaster. But the ball didn't get too far behind him. It's just a tough play. It's Teoscar Hernandez.
I'm watching.
Tough play.
It's a tough play. It doesn't look like, to your point, he's like kind of Mr. Jump. And I think back to the last 2 games, Jim, the jump he had against Atlanta in the 9th, when he started in and then made the play going back, that was made unnecessarily difficult by Merrill. And to his credit, he made up on that. Tell me I'm wrong, and I'm just getting this social media little clip here, but I don't know about that jump. He's like looks very hesitant. Like he doesn't know what he's going to do. Is he going to play it on a hop or is he going to dive after it? That's basically what it looks like to me. And he was caught in that no man's land.
Yep. Yeah,
Which,
it's so weird.
That doesn't happen with him.
It's so weird because all year long, Shildt has been very good in moves, and all year long, Jackson Merrill has been money in center field. And I'm not going to put too much on Merrill in that play. That's a fucking tough play, dude.
It's a tough play.
That's a tough play.
What's the catch probability? Does anyone know the catch probability on that play? I'd love to know.
I don't know, but I don't think it was high because I didn't see anything about it on social media.
Okay.
But like all year long, you expect Merrill to like make those types of plays, and all year long you ride with what Shildt does, and most of the time it works. And
was that with 2 outs?
That was with 2 outs, yeah, I think.
Yeah. Was that 2nd and 3rd?
Yeah. Right.
Ugh. All right, let me get to some of these supers. We have a million to get to. Rocket, thank you. He says, stop getting aggressive when the pitchers walk consecutive batters. Got to be way more patient. Interesting. I mean, interesting point in general. You're saying late where you're really taxing. You're taxing that bullpen. There's guys on. But I didn't think it's like they were walking them just like 4 straight pitches. I'm watching this Merrill at bat. It's like 10, 11, 12 pitches. Like he's fouling balls off. He's earning the
bat for a 21-year-old. Incredible at bat.
That's what I'm saying. So it's not like he's saying, well, why were they so aggressive after the walks? I'm saying the walks were earned. They weren't 4 pitches out of the zone walks, and this guy was crazy wild. It was you were earning them. At least Merrill did. So that to me speaks to the decisions behind Merrill.
And I thought that Fernando Tatis Jr. had a quietly good night. He, 2 for 4 with a double, 2 runs scored and a walk.
Who was this?
Fernando Tatis.
Yeah, I thought he had in the 9th, right?
Right, yeah, keep the game alive. I think that he had, it's hard to say he had a quietly good night, but if you could have a quietly good night, Fernando Tatis Jr. did it tonight.
Right.
And I know you didn't see this, but he had a double early in this game. I think it was in the 3rd inning, or might have been I forget actually which inning it was. Did you see the exit velocity off the bat on one of his hits?
I saw it on social media.
118 miles an hour off the bat.
Yeah, I saw it. Yeah. I mean, I didn't see it though.
Hardest hit ball of his career. What was it? Yep. It was exactly this. It was exactly 118.9 miles per hour off the bat. Hardest hit ball of his career.
He sees the ball incredibly well at Dodger Stadium too, and he's playing great baseball. He really is.
Yeah.
The Fiery Friar, thank you. He says, short sample size, I know, but we've only managed to score 1 run so far after the 3rd inning this postseason. Also, right-handed pitching aside, Higgy should stay in. I saw that was being discussed tonight as well. Here's what I would say I think you have to be careful with sample sizes. To Fiery Friar's point, here's my sample size that matters. 3 games, they're 2-1. Unfortunately, they're 0-1 in this best-of-5 series. Like the manner in which you win in there's always going to be stuff that's screwy. Like someone's going to have a 27 ERA in a 3-game series because they threw 1 inning and allowed like 2 runs. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's going to look
And
really bad.
somebody's going to go 0 for 8 and somebody's going to go 5 for 8. Like, oh, he had 625. He had 5 for 8. So numbers are going to get a little screwy sometimes. The point's fair. They need to score, obviously. But they're 2-1 in the postseason, and they won 2 against Atlanta. Yay. They lost tonight. Not yay. I mean, I don't care when they score. If they scored 11 runs in the first inning, who cares? They just didn't score 11 runs in the first inning.
The key to me now after watching game 1 is very clear. There's 2 things. One, never pitch to Ohtani in a big situation with a base open, especially 2 fucking outs. Number 2, if they're not going to get to the Dodgers bullpen, it's game over. They're not winning the series.
Yeah, but they did get to the Dodgers. Oh, you're saying if they don't hit the Dodger bullpen.
Right. Like,
it's funny you say that because I feel like they should hit these starters.
I do too, but if they're going up 5-3 and it's the 3rd inning, and you're not going to score the rest of the game, that's so much time for the Dodgers to come back.
It's taxing on your bullpen.
It's going to make you have to be perfect on your end. So, like, if you can't score runs off of this Dodgers bullpen, it's going to be tough, man.
It's going to be tough, but I mean, that's the reason why you get Tanner Scott and freaking Jeremiah Estrada and Robert Suarez. And I mean, this is a bullpen that's going to have to come through in clutch spots to win a World Series.
But it wasn't Scott or Adam or Hoeing tonight. It was Estrada and Morejon.
No,
and that's the problem is like their top guys, top guys were excellent tonight. The middle part, because Dylan Cease couldn't give you 5 innings, was the issue and the problem. Dylan Cease, the trickle-down effect of him only going 3 2/3 or whatever it was tonight, cost you the game because you couldn't have that bridge there.
You couldn't hide it.
You just couldn't hide it, and that's the problem. Cease.
Well, that's my problem with Game 4. That's, by the way, that's what I said for 2 straight days about. I said Dodgers lineup's too good to hide a Game 4 starter. If it's bullpen day or Martin Perez, I mean, you're really asking for your offense to come through, or you're going to just kind of get lucky potentially to hold their bats at bay. Ben, thank you, man, for the generous super chat. It says this team has 5 hits against non-starters, openers in 3 playoff games. They don't have the pitching to overcome that kind of offensive parity in a 5-game series. Other than King, no one else has been reliably clean / shutdown. Well, this went from, the best rotation in the sport to shit pretty quick.
You got the rotation.
Yeah, I mean, I guess because Musgrove's out. Cease was very average. I really don't know what to expect from you Darvish tomorrow, truthfully. And
he has good career numbers against Dodgers hitters.
That's great, but it's a big spot, a very, very, very big spot. And Shohei Ohtani's in their lineup now. So I don't know. I think it's probably somewhere in between. I think the rotation's good enough. I think their bullpen's good enough that they should really challenge in this series. And we'll see if I'm right or not. I think they've got enough with their rotation and their bullpen that their offense should be able to keep them in the series and win a game or 2.
Do you want to hear Shildt? Darnay just tweeted this. He said, here's what Mike Shildt had to say about the 4th inning, the matchup with Morejon on Ohtani, and the intentional walk of Betts and how it all played out.
Okay.
Hold on.
Yeah, that whole inning was already, kind of thought about the different variables. We went out, Dylan, initially we're thinking Dylan may take him through Betts. But as soon as, Tommy gets the bunt down, Rojas gets the base hit, now we're sitting there going, all right, we like Morejon on Ohtani, comes in, makes a beautiful pitch, blows him up. Now we got Mookie on Morejon. Once he threw the knuckle curve, the split, whatever we want to call it, they got by him. Now we got second and third, we got a base open. Mookie's not a big against lefties. He's not going to hit ground balls. He's not going to strike out, pretty much, and he's going to walk. So now you can sit there and say, let's tap dance around him. No, let's go to Freddie with Morejon, who throws, 50% ground ball rate against lefties. And I would say Freddie wasn't moving good, but he still has a bag and plays possum on us. All right. So we go to Freddie to get the ground ball, and we got it, and Solano makes it, knowing we got Estrada on Hernandez after that. So the whole inning was not right where we wanted it, but unplayed the way we basically wanted it in that sense. Johnny flared one in, ground ball wasn't at anybody from Freddie, but Solano makes a great play, gets the force at home. Higgy makes a great play too, by the way. That's just nice. And now we're sitting there and we got Estrada, who we like a lot. And we like a righty on Hernandez, and to his credit, put a swing and brought in 2 runs. So hopefully that answered your question.
Yeah, I mean, it was a good answer. But let me just say this: the part where he completely lost me is you're playing for a Freddie Freeman ground ball double play because he's gimpy. I knew he'd say that. I said that 30 minutes ago.
Mm-hmm.
Did they think that because Freeman, quote unquote, isn't 100%, let's face him in that spot with the bases loaded and let's play for a double play? You're playing for a double play with Freddie Freeman in the 4th inning. That's your strategy play. Like, that's asking a lot, isn't it? Like, what are the odds you turn that in that spot? Do you have a 1 in 10 of spinning that exact result in that spot? Or maybe it's a 1 in 7, but that's not a high percentage chance play, in my opinion. I don't understand. With 2 strikes on Mookie Betts, you're already in the sequence. Just get out of it. I mean, work your way out of it if you can. Wouldn't you rather, with 2 strikes on Betts, find a way to dispose of him and then not have to play for a double play on the other side of it?
Yeah, I would have I would have been totally fine with the sequence if there already wasn't 2 strikes on Betts.
Yeah, that's the thing. Right. If you just put the 4 up to start the at-bat, I get it. But again, there's a wild pitch. But you get 2 strikes, man, you're a pitch away from getting out of that spot. Trust your freaking reliever to get out of there, and then you got 2 outs in your face in Freeman, not 1.
Yeah, like if there was a runner on 2nd and 3rd and the base is open, first base,
and maybe put him on.
Then I'm like, okay, you want the lefty matchup against Freeman, try to get the double play, even though that's hard to do against Freeman. But at the same time, you were ahead in the count 2-1. You throw a pitch that gets past Higashioka, and you're then giving him the base.
Like Freddie Freeman in 640 plate appearances has 13 ground ball double plays. I mean, it's not a massive number. Like, he's running into 13 double plays in 160 games. Like, I'm not saying you can't get him to grind into one. 13 is 13, but there's no guarantee you're going to put him in that spot there. I mean, that's you're playing for an inside straight is what you're playing for, and it didn't work out. JD Gaucho, thank you. He says Cease only going 3 1/3 innings offset Yamamoto's ugly outing completely. That's completely accurate.
Yeah.
Slot Nate Easy, thank you. He says Manny's body language in the second half seemed lackadaisical, or is it just me? Obviously, he cares, but tough to watch. Most of blame on Shildt, though. Did you notice that, Jim?
His body language?
Yeah.
In the second half of the season? No. I mean, he's been one of the best players in
baseball. I think he's talking about this game, as the game turned.
Oh, as the game. Okay.
Yeah. I think that's what he's saying.
If you're talking about this game, yeah, after the 2-run home run in the first, Manny had an awful game.
Sure.
He went 1 for 5. That 1 home run in the first inning was a great, just like opening punch right to the jaw. But the error cost them a run, and then not coming through in the 9th inning again in a moment that the last 2 postseasons, when's he come through late in the game for this team?
Right.
He had opportunities against the Phillies in that series, didn't come through. He had opportunities tonight, didn't come through. And at some point, like, you're going to need a big hit from Manny Machado in a late game situation.
Yeah.
He's been really good early on. Like, I remember in game 2 of 2022, he had a big home run off Kershaw in the first. I remember against the Phillies, he had a big home run early. I remember the other night, right, against the Braves, like, he had that big double with the bases loaded. Right. That was also early. Now, again, I think they were a much better team than the Braves, but still, Manny needs to come through late in the game with his team trailing in a postseason game for the Padres.
I mean, I would think that's accurate to win the World Series. Fonzie, thank you. He says pinch hitting for he with Peralta is a joke. Mike Shildt coached like a nervous wreck. Accurate. I mean, does Higgy have to get all of his at-bats in a game? Is he that valuable, or can he be pinch hit for? I mean, he had hit home runs in the first 2 games of the postseason. I understand his value offensively. I mean, it's real value, but I don't think he's the type of player that can't be pinch hit for. I don't exactly know the circumstance that played out though tonight.
It was a matchup situation.
Yep.
And I forget who it was. Let me just double check here. It was, stand by. It was the top of the 7th inning to lead off the inning against, I forget. Top of the 7th inning here. David Peralta against Evan Phillips. So
I mean, is it that egregious? I mean,
he was trying for the matchup lefty on righty.
I don't think it's that egregious.
I do agree from the super that Shildt was kind of chaotic tonight. Like there was a lot of, I mean, he was definitely trying to manage this game like it was a game 5 or a game 7.
I get it. It was,
I get it
you
too.
could argue it was if you steal game 1, you've stolen home field. It's a big game. It's not a game you want to lose. I know that.
Problem is the moves he made just didn't work, you know?
Exactly.
And
Iron sticks.
Yeah, it happens.
Thank you. He says Padres pulled off a Chargers loss. This curse is still here, but God has been working only.
It's not a Chargers loss.
Only he can say. It's not what?
This was not a Chargers loss. They didn't lose the lead in like the 9th inning or fumble over themselves. They just did not play good baseball tonight.
Very winnable game. You go up 3-0 at Dodger Stadium. You're up 5-3. I mean, you got to win this game, and they didn't. Joshua says, thank you for the Superman. Appreciate you. He says, guys, love this team and hope the Padres win tomorrow, but Shildt cost this game. Intentionally walking Mookie in a 2-2 count cost the game, and the team felt it. Can't explain it. Watched every game this season. Remember when he said yesterday when he was asked, how do you manage in the postseason compared to the regular season? He's like, you know what? I'm going to manage the same way. But that's not the case, obviously. They didn't manage this anything like a regular season game. So, I think it's fair to say it was overmanaged. And I think it's fair to be critical and second guess because I think a lot of times he's pulled the right strings. And some of the moves he's made have worked out really well. Tonight they didn't. It's not like it's the sole reason why they lost. He is not the sole reason why they lost. He may be a reason as to why they lost, some of the decisions he made in game. And hopefully he makes better decisions tomorrow. Managerial decisions are magnified in the postseason. Everyone is watching in plain view, and everyone is going to react to them for the next 24 hours. And it's completely fair and reasonable to react to some decisions Mike Shildt made tonight that, with the benefit of hindsight, weren't great decisions and didn't work out. Certainly.
And the difficult part about being a manager is sometimes you can make the right decision and it doesn't work. Like you could be like, hey, we have a 1-run lead in the 9th inning and our closer blows it. Like, is that on the manager? No, I mean,
not at all.
Of course you're gonna have the closer out there. Oh, it's the 8th inning. We're up by 2 runs. We put in Scott or Adam, who've been really good, and they blow the lead. Is that on the manager? Like, no, of course I can make that move.
And you can also make the wrong decision and it could work out. Like you could have faced Ohtani in that spot and he flies out.
But
and then it justifies the bad decision.
Is some of these moves that you make as a manager, you kind of like it's out of your control. Like it's a move that everybody makes, and it's a move that there's no second guessing it. You're like, why would you use Adam there? Why would you use Suarez in the 9th? Right? You don't really question those moves. Those fall mostly on like the player. Like, hey man, you gotta make a better pitch and whatnot. But when it comes down to strategy of you telling the pitcher to intentionally walk somebody or not to intentionally walk somebody and face that person, then it's solely on the manager there. Like that's how I view the Ohtani thing. And that's how I view the Mookie Betts thing. Mike Shildt made that decision to walk Mookie with 2 strikes and then made the decision to not walk Ohtani with the base open. That's on Mike Shildt.
Yeah, right. It wasn't right. Dylan Cease allowing a home run to Shohei Ohtani, that happens. It's called baseball. But the fact that Dylan Cease faced Shohei Ohtani is a decision that the organization and or the manager made, and it was the wrong Decision. Forever. Thank you for the super. I'm not pulling up your super because you're being a troll, but thank you.
Thank you.
HBBBV, thank you for the super and the membership. He says Manny better hit like no.
Yep.
RH, thank you for the super. He says Solano and Cronenworth dead spots in the order since playoffs began. Solano's strikeout bases loaded was killer. Over Hushead now.
I'll tell you what, Cronenworth has looked completely lost at the plate. Again,
lost.
0 for 4 tonight. He was 0 for in the Braves series.
Yep.
He's been lost all of September. He's had one good game in the month, and that was against the Dodgers.
Yeah.
He just looks completely lost right now. And Solano might give you a good at bat, but he's just not getting hits. He's not coming through. Cronenworth's not even giving you good at bats.
Andrew says Mookie intentional walk, not bad call, sets up double play with lefty on lefty. Yeah, I mean, okay.
It's not like, look, it's not the most egregious thing in the world. It's not as egregious as Ohtani, but it still is a questionable move when you have 2 strikes on bats.
Yeah, it's not an intentional walk. That's where you got to be clear. Yeah, it was a 2-ball and 2-strike count. It wasn't a straight intentional walk. Okay.
Right. It wasn't like he got to the plate 0-0 and the first base was open. It was he had 2 strikes on him. And then you decide to walk him for the matchup against Freeman instead. You just conceded the at bat to Mookie during the at bat.
Yes. Lakers running it down mid. Thank you for the super. He says, should we walk Ohtani every time? I do not fear Betts and Freeman in the postseason at all. Ohtani has proven all season long he will beat you. I wouldn't literally walk him every time.
No.
But I would have separate rules for Ohtani that I don't have essentially for any other hitter in baseball, by and large. And I would determine what those are. And that would be my North Star, my compass in terms of my decision making. On my compass going into this game, let me look at it. 2 on and 2 out in a 3-run game. Should I face him there or not? No, let me try the next guy before I try him in that spot. That would be on my wheel. Right. So that's, again, do I walk him truly and literally every single time? No. But am I overly cautious to the point of absurdity? Yeah. Yes.
Look, if there were 2 on and no outs, you're probably pushing it there if you walk them. Now, again, it might work out best for you, but I mean, I can understand an explanation if there's 2 on and no outs. I can't understand any explanation in the world when it's 2 on, 2 outs and a base is open. There's no explanation for that at all. And I will continue to say, if Derek freaking Jeter is sitting there post-game, throwing his hands up in the air saying, why didn't they walk Ohtani in that situation? Then I'll sit here and throw my hands up in the air too and say, why didn't they walk Ohtani in that situation?
I don't need Derek Jeter to.
I don't either, but it just, I'm just trying to like say, like, Derek freaking Jeter saying it.
Yeah. Morgan Freeman, no relation. Thank you for the super.
Okay.
That broadcast is horrible. Throwing passes and randomly calling Padres the little brother. Weird for national reporter. So I, of course, heard none of the broadcast, but when I was walking to my car in the parking lot of Snapdragon Stadium, I sent the tweet to Jim. I knew he had seen it because it popped up my timeline. The pass in reply that called the Padres a little brother to the Dodgers. The fact that he would publish that and the fact that he can get away with that is so pathetic and embarrassing. And you know what I've said. Tell me I'm wrong, because I don't know if our viewers know it. How many times have I told you off air or privately how much I despise Jeff Passan as a baseball insider? How many times have I told you that?
A good amount.
100. Mm-hmm. Now, does he get stuff right? Yeah, he works at ESPN. I mean, I think he's capable of doing his job. I think he's gotten a lot of things right. But there's something off with him. And how can he get away with that, dude? Why would he do that?
It's to me like little man syndrome type of thing.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I view it as you're trying to be funny, but you're not
coming way too hard.
You're not funny. And then the follow-up tweet to the response about how Ohtani is the best player anybody's ever seen. I'm like, give me a fucking break. That was bad. I think it just kind of made him look like a troll, honestly. Like it just like I mean, he probably doesn't care, to be honest with you, but it just looks like a troll media member. But I will say this, and we haven't talked about it yet, and I'm actually happy with ourselves that an hour into our show tonight, we haven't mentioned the broadcast once. One, because John didn't watch it because he was doing the Aztec game. But two, it's not the reason why the Padres lost, right? It was right. That was one of the absolute worst broadcasts I've ever watched from a national perspective during a postseason game ever in baseball. Football, they don't have announcers that are tied to teams calling national games. That's the radio stuff for them. Joe Davis was a fucking disgrace tonight.
Is that accurate?
John Smoltz might have been worse. Now, they're also being fed stuff from their producers, but Ohtani hits the home run, and I kid you not, John, they showed that Ohtani home run probably 15 times.
Well, that wasn't Joe Davis showing it.
No, it was the producers. I get it. But the things that Joe Davis did say that no producer told him to say was one in I think it was the second inning. The Padres are up 3-0. It was before the Ohtani homer. He pulled out the underdog bit for the Dodgers, saying about how they have all these injuries to their pitchers and they've dealt with adversity this year and this and that, and essentially calling them the underdogs. That was a joke. And then there was a moment where Freddie Freeman stole second base and he referenced the Gibson home run. How Freeman stolen base reminded him of that. Where I'm thinking to myself, what the fuck are you talking about? And by the way, too, it's a joke that Major League Baseball put the home announcer for the Dodgers on the Dodgers series. This didn't happen in 2022. You had who was it?
No, it did.
For the whole series?
It did, yeah. And here's the other thing. Here's the other thing. This is where I'm going to stop. This is where I'm going to stop you. Major League Baseball doesn't do any of this. Fox owns the rights. Fox hires Joe Davis. He's their national play-by-play caller. Yes. Fox decides their best series. It's the 8:00 East Coast series. John, you think they're not going to use the guy they pay the most money that calls the World Series for the biggest series?
They are. I get it. I understand. But the entire broadcast everything was about the Dodgers. And I'm not exaggerating. Every single thing about this broadcast was Ohtani and the Dodgers. And they even had graphics made about when Ohtani would be up next. They're like, Ohtani's up fourth next inning. If he gets a chance, Ohtani's up this time next inning. I'm like, are you kidding me right now? But again, the Joe Davis used the underdog bit, which was a fucking joke. And then he's referencing like, man, what Freddie Freeman did there just kind of reminds me of what Kurt Gibson had to deal with in that World Series game playing on an injured ankle.
Yeah,
it was bad. It was bad.
That sounds bad. I know it was. I knew it would be an Ohtani love fest, but that's not solely because of Joe Davis. To be fair, because I could have been calling that game. They would force feed Ohtani down our throats because they know what pays the bills and they know what people are watching, and they think Shohei Ohtani brings people to the television more than Fernando Tatis Jr.
And Smoltz wouldn't shut the fuck up. I mean, that guy, like, dude, chill out. He's literally talking every single moment. This
is hilarious. RH, thank you. We can get back to it if you guys want. He says Padres beat themselves. Failures to clutch hit can't happen during playoffs. I do think they probably did, to some extent, maybe beat themselves with some of the decision making in this game. 2 for 11 with men in scoring position isn't the worst thing I've ever heard in my life in any one individual game. They were 0 for 11, but they could do better. Mm-hmm. Parker Flippin, thank you for the super. He says, would have been nice for Cease to get redemption against Shohei. Broadcaster Joe Davis is hard to listen to. A graphic of how many batters away Ohtani is. And again, that's where I'm going to push back and I don't watch the game, but what does the graphic have to do with Joe Davis?
No, John, I'm talking about the entirety of the broadcast.
I knew the broadcast would be shit. It's going to be like that the whole series. It's going to be pro Dodgers.
I didn't realize it was going to be this fucking bad, dude.
Yeah, maybe. That's
like,
fair.
I went into the game knowing, all right, you got Joe Davis. There's going to be glazing, for sure. But I mean, it was over the top. And now Ohtani did hit a big home run. So of course they're going to talk about it, but they talked about it damn near every fucking inning.
Right.
Like every inning, they're like, man, that Ohtani home run. And they're like breaking down his swing path and then showing him in the dugout and then being like, he's up, he's hitting fourth this inning. And like, I'm like, what the fuck?
Right. Let me get to the super. Then I want to tell you about our friends over at Mova Globes. The Ganj says the Ohtani plate appearance graphic was crazy. Also, Jeff Passan is short. I mean, we were at the winter meetings. We saw him standing on a box.
Yeah, that picture is going around the internet right now.
I mean, again, I don't know what you're thinking, Jeff. Like, you're supposed to cover the entire sport. We get it. The Dodgers play in LA. The Yankees play in New York. I mean, right, they're relevant, but like, don't put them on some unnecessary pedestal. Don't be cute and don't troll fans. Like, don't play that game because there's a million responses to your tweets. You could do anything you want with any reply. There's a million people that reply. So don't single out one person and make him look like a fool to make you look better, which is basically what he did today because he knew he'd get the likes from Dodger fans. And you could take any one reply to any one tweet, make any one person look like an idiot because you're Jeff Passan and you have thousands of replies. So to do that is honestly like rude and unnecessary.
So this Fryer Breaks on Twitter didn't even really troll Jeff. It just kind of like,
he's like, what about the Manny homer?
He goes, Jeff, where's the Manny homer? And then Jeff decided to go full troll mode and go, if you want to stop being treated like a little brother, stop acting like one.
Yeah.
And then the reply from Fryer Breaks was, Jeff, Manny could hit 5 home runs tonight and you still post highlights of the bat flip. And then Passan replies, which was even worse than his initial response. He goes, I promise I do not have anti-Padres bias. I love the players. I love their fight. I love their swagger. The Padres are awesome. What I have is pro-amazing things bias. And Shohei Ohtani is the most incredible player that you, me, and everyone else watching baseball has ever seen. Full stop. You're fucking wrong. And then he goes, okay, I get this. If you're pro-amazing things, why didn't you report on the triple play? It just seems biased, but appreciate it. And Jeff goes, because I can't. And then this was a total bullshit cop-out. He goes, because I can't watch everything all the time. I didn't see it live. By the time I did, all the smart people on Twitter already said something about it, and I didn't really have anything substantive to add. Sometimes it's better not to say something. Give me a fucking break.
Ohtani, Mr. like big word
shut
guy.
Up. Shut up.
Mr. Big Word guy.
Shut the fuck up.
When's his last like amazingly pro Padre tweet? This 93 win season, this improbable run after the loss of their owner. Have there been some tweets about the Padres over the course of the year to say how remarkable they've been? I think there's been one or two, like Robert Suarez has been great here, blah, blah, blah. He's such a loser. I hate to say it like that, but he just is a loser.
Can we all just once again like say and acknowledge that Ohtani didn't even have the best season in the sport this year?
It's not, but that's not even the point. Ohtani's great.
But I know Ohtani is great, but my point is not that he's not great.
Judge is just as great.
No, my point is not that Ohtani's not great. He is great, and you treat him as such if you're the Padres and you throw up the fours. That's not my point. Ohtani's great. My point is that the media, especially the national media, and especially Jeff Passan,
right? They treat it like it's never been seen in the history of the sport.
They're treating Ohtani like he is God's gift to baseball, and that nobody's ever done what Ohtani's done, when literally last year someone did what Ohtani did this year, and that this year Aaron Judge had a better offensive season in every category than Shohei Ohtani. Like, that's where my problem comes in. It has nothing to do with Ohtani. We've talked about this. Ohtani is an innocent bystander in this. He's just a great player. Nothing to do with Ohtani. It's everything to do with fucking Jeff Passans of the world that are going on a national media narrative, and he has such a large voice that it carries, that he is saying Ohtani's the greatest thing ever, and he's not.
Well, I think it's because it's twofold real quick on that.
Mm-hmm.
They're led to believe that the marketing machine that is Major League Baseball is Shohei Ohtani. Therefore, in their best interest is to prop up the marketing vehicle that pays some of their salary. Theoretically, Jeff Passan's relevancy is based on the national relevancy of the sport. If Shohei Ohtani is the best player in baseball and is a global icon, that's to the benefit of Jeff Passan. If Shohei Ohtani didn't exist and didn't play baseball, the sport wouldn't be as popular theoretically because of what he means to people overseas. And so, like, I just think it's like he's doing it because it's almost like you have to. Because if you say anything critical of Shohei Ohtani, I learned this the hard way, but if you say anything critical, it's almost like you're not allowed to have an opinion other than your opinion being he's the best player in the history of the sport.
Yeah. No, I get it. I understand. Ohtani is fucking amazing. There's no doubt about it. I just want to say for every Dodger troll in our chat right now, thank you, because you don't realize this, but you are giving us views and you are paying us money without even realizing it. So
we're probably saying the silent part out loud, but
so joke's kind of on you. Yeah, joke's on you.
Stay here. Let me get my globe. Hold on. Yeah, pick up a Dodger Mova globe, by the way. They're awesome. Yeah. You'll love them. Buy one right now.
Go pick one up. Thank you. Okay.
If you are a Dodger fan and you really like this channel, then you're going to pick up a Mova globe that says Dodgers on it. If you're a Padres fan, you're going to pick one up like this that says Padres on it. This is a company based in San Diego. If you want 10% off, use promo code PWS10. That is promo code PWS10. They spin automatically with artificial or natural light. This technology was founded in Cardiff by the Sea here in North County. Great gift idea. They have all 30 Major League teams officially licensed. In addition to Major League Baseball Mova globes, they've got so many other globes as well. You can check them out by clicking the link in the description down below. But if you want them, grab them. Use promo code PWS10 or PWS10. Great products. Your family's going to love them. Great gift ideas. Perfect for the baseball fan in your life. Dodger fans, you'll love them. Pick them up. Use promo code PWS10.
Yeah, get a Mobile Globe today. Dodger fans that are trolling in the chat right now that have nothing better to do, go pick up a Mobile Globe, and you can use our promo code. So you're welcome. PWS10.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I agree. Jimmy Cronenworth is an automatic out. I don't know what they're going to do about it. I mean, he's under contract. There's been some good. There's been some bad. He's been awful for a month. I don't know.
Yeah, it's not good. I mean, like if the bottom of the Padres order is going to go 0 for on most nights here against the Dodgers, and the Dodgers bottom of the order is going to go 5 for 12, like that's putting you in a very tough spot.
What does this mean? Devi just said Freddie was certainly medicated.
Dave Roberts said that Freddie was medicated.
Like, yeah, probably. He's coming off a high ankle.
Yeah, you know, probably got a cortisone shot.
Yeah. Yep, that's permissible. Ben, thank you for the super. He says, when you get outmanaged by Dave Roberts in a playoff game, yikes. I mean, does this change our tune on Shildt? I got to see how the rest of the series plays out, is what I would say.
If they continue to pitch to Ohtani, like...
Yeah, like, are they trying to prove a point? We're not scared? It's not about being scared. It's about trying to win.
Yeah, like, you pitch to Ohtani as the tying or go-ahead run if there's a base open at any point in the game, that's on you, buddy. And by you, I mean Mike Shildt.
Yeah, Shildt. Murray, what's going on, man? Thank you for the super. Thanks for hanging out. Guys, if you're here, please subscribe. We've had a lot of you subscribe tonight. You're on content. For fans, smash the like button. You can follow us on X at John Schaefer, at Jim Russell SD. And thank you for the super chats. Just click the $sign below the chat box if you want to support the channel or see your comment on screen or get us to react to something. He says, as a diehard Padres fan, can we stop calling Cease an ace? He got hammered in 98 playoffs. Kevin Brown never got hit hard. That's an ace. I think it's fair criticism. I mean, it is only one start for Cease, and maybe he'll make a second, third, fourth, or more in this postseason. That's still possible. But yeah, aces have to be better than Dylan Cease was tonight. I think that's a reasonable, fair criticism.
Yeah, I mean, he's an ace that had a bad night. You know, like, you got to perform. And when you're the game one starter, you can't go, less than 4 innings. Like, I just, I think Dylan Cease is a better pitcher than Yamamoto. Yamamoto might have some better stuff, but I think Cease on his game, like, obviously he's got no hit stuff, right? Because he threw a no hitter this year, and he can give you outings where he is literally unhittable. And tonight was a bad night for him, and it was again a trickle down effect for the entire rest of the game. You didn't get 5 innings tonight, so you had to use Estrada and Morejon in the middle innings to bridge the gap to Adam and Scott and Hoeing and potentially maybe Robert Suarez, even though Robert Suarez is a whole other situation if he's gets into a 1-run game here.
Sure.
And you couldn't get it done. And that's on you, man, and you threw a really bad. I mean, it actually wasn't that bad of a pitch to Ohtani. It's just Ohtani's amazing right now. And
Wait, what wasn't a bad pitch? The Cease pitch?
it was up. It wasn't down the pipe.
Dude, it's down the pipe. Unless I'm
was
missing something.
Look, it was letter high. Not many dudes are hitting that like Ohtani is.
No shit. That's the whole point.
Yeah. But that's the thing is
let me see it.
Dude, it was up. Now it was like belt high. Maybe it was a little belt high. Maybe I'd say maybe it was belt high, not letter high. Let me look at it again.
Oh, fuck. I mean, he loves that high fastball, dude.
But would you agree that pitch normally isn't a bad pitch?
Yeah, I mean, not normally. It's not. But first of all, it's just above the belt, but he freaking feasts on that.
Okay.
Right into his swing plane, dude. I mean, he's tall. Like, so you throw a high fastball, but he's big. He's imposing. Like that's for him, right?
Let me just look at this one more time.
I mean, I don't find that to be
on
Ohtani. I mean,
that wasn't down the. I mean, that was like
it was maybe up, but man, it was
up.
It wasn't too up for him, apparently. Rocket, thank you for the super. He says the broadcast was so insufferable. I literally muted the TV and pulled out my MLB app and listened to Jesse and Tony.
Good.
I've only done that once. I don't see why you wouldn't. I think it makes sense. So thank you, Rocket. Styles Clash 619, appreciate the super. He says, don't forget when Davis mentioned that Shohei saved baseball, or when he checked on Diaz like the gentleman he is. Hope our pods get game 2. I guess that was in the broadcast tonight. That Shohei saved baseball. Did they say he saved baseball?
To be honest with you, a lot of the broadcasts I tried to tune out, and I did not hear that. Did he say that? Did they say that? Did Joe Davis
and
actually
he checked out Elias Diaz like the gentleman he is?
I mean, I was eating dinner maybe at that point. Did he say that?
I don't know. Seems like it based on this tweet or post or whatever the hell it is. Super chat.
Okay.
Ben, appreciate you, man. Thank you for the very generous super. He says, I'm so tired of the Ohtani BS about that home run. This is my point. Cease grooved a 4-seam fastball right into a baseball savant shows as the hottest hitting zone, a 77% success rate. He hit 770 up there, dude.
Okay, probably
he should have hit that ball a mile. It was not right. He hit 770 with that shit.
Moss, we spent an hour talking about the game, dude. Like I'm seeing in the chat, people are like, enough about the broadcast. Bro, we spent an hour and 7 minutes on the game without mentioning this fucking awful broadcast one time.
Bro, if you want more talk about the game, here's an idea, Moss. Go to youtube.com, start a channel, hit publish, and start talking about the game.
Yeah, come on.
We've talked about the game. And we will continue to if you want to talk about the game. Rocket, thank you. He says, funny Jeff glazes Ohtani when he made a comment years ago, roasting Ben Verlander for it years ago. That's right.
Oh, he did?
When you're talking about Shohei, you're usually on your knees, right? And then you have to delete the tweet. Crazy how the tides turned.
He's a troll. He's like a undercover, like not undercover. His true identity is a troll.
It comes out. Yeah. I pray, because I'm not a basketball fan like you are.
Oh, NBA. Go to the NBA, dude. Go to the NBA.
I pray they move him to NBA. They won't, because they know that he'll be exposed there, and more people care nationally about the NBA than Major League Baseball, and he's already been exposed on baseball. I don't think they'll do it, but I'm hoping they do.
Here's what I hope they do. Passing, you're gone. Go to the NBA. You know who I hope they elevate up until like that passing role?
Jesse Rogers?
Not Jesse Rogers. I love Jesse Rogers.
Who?
Another national guy, Alden Gonzalez.
I mean, I like Alden, but isn't that the same slant? I mean, doesn't he cover the Dodgers for his career? You want him being your national MLB guy?
He doesn't like come off to me as the pompous, arrogant, like
No, he's not.
troll
He's
that
not.
Jeff Passan does.
He's 100% not. But your next choice is a guy that's covered the Dodgers for his career?
Well, my
Isn't
next
he?
choice is a guy that I don't find insufferable on social media.
Well, you should have a higher bar than that.
Then give me, I don't know. I literally
Rogers.
don't. Jesse Rogers, sure, but fine,
I called you out
whatever.
for that. It doesn't Alden. Am I wrong? I don't follow him, but he spends his career covering the Dodgers, has he not?
He covers baseball
in Los Angeles.
Well, I mean, he does cover like
Los Angeles-based reporter for ESPN.
Okay, fine, whatever. I just don't find him to be an arrogant, pompous prick on social media.
I agree with that. No, I have nothing wrong with him. I'm just saying
I think Alden Gonzalez is really fucking good at his job, to be honest with you.
I think he is as well, but I just don't know if that'd be my first choice.
Who's your first choice then?
Jesse Rogers for the 18th time, you idiot. I'm sorry, I don't want the freaking Dodger freaking beat writer covering the National Baseball beat for the next 20 years.
My bad. Fuck, dude.
Richard, well, you've asked me 10 times. Like, who's your choice? Well, I've told you my choice, you idiot.
Who's your choice? Why are you getting mad at me? Don't get mad at me. I didn't do anything.
Because you're the one's like, I got the greatest idea. I think Joe Davis should be their new MLB insider.
Hey, I have a better idea. Walk Ohtani.
I agree.
Thank you.
Richard, thank you. He says he hates the Yankees, Red Sox, and the SEC. Why? Because ESPN shoves it in my face year in and year out. They dominate Sunday night. I get Jim's point.
This is from a Dodger fan, Richard, who's a loyal listener to our channel that isn't some of you Dodger fans out there that I can't stand.
If I'm
Richard
a Dodger fan, I got no problem with ESPN.
Oh, no. Yeah. No, I mean, yeah, like, yeah, Richard's on the same page, Richard.
What a night, dude. This is getting feisty. It's night one.
I don't want to be, truthfully, I don't want to be that guy that just complains all the time about the broadcast.
But that is who you are.
No. I've rarely.
Every time.
No, I haven't, John. Rarely have I gotten this like annoyed with a broadcast. I get annoyed with broadcasts, but I don't go to the length of tonight where
that's fair.
I'm just like yelling at the TV, shut the fuck up. Like that's I literally fair. At one point tonight, I was like, shut the fuck up. Like I couldn't take it anymore, dude. And I rarely do that for national broadcast. I think Joe Davis is a great broadcaster. I think his bias 100% showed tonight. I think John Smoltz like decided that he wasn't going to breathe at all tonight during the broadcast. And I think that the producers of this entire Fox broadcast made a collective point that they were going all in for the Dodgers for this postseason. And it showed. And I get it. Ohtani's the driver of it. And he had the moment. And they just took that moment and they decided they were going to talk about it for the entire broadcast. I'm
just fascinated now to see the ratings for this. I would assume they're going to be unbelievable. Now you're going up against a lot of college football on a Saturday. But by baseball standards, Ohtani's debut in a really compelling, good, interesting game where he homers should deliver, right? Like that, if that doesn't deliver, then what will deliver for Major League Baseball?
Well, not putting them on FS1 would help.
True. Fair. But they know what butters their bread, which is college football.
Right. I get it too. I get it. It should do.
Think about that. They have Baylor, Iowa State is on Fox. Ames, Iowa, Waco, Texas over the freaking Dodgers and the Padres and Shohei Ohtani.
What do you think? Anything under $2.5 million is bad?
Be horrific.
What?
But it is FS1.
I would say if they got $3 million, they would feel really good about themselves. I mean,
I don't know, dude. I just don't have a feel for it. FS1's tough. If it was Fox, I'd feel like it would be like $5 million.
Is Joe Davis missing it? Is Joe Davis missing NFL tomorrow to broadcast the Padres?
He has to. Has to.
Yeah, and I'm not the only one that was like incredibly annoyed. I mean,
I know.
This is like, I think, a sentiment of a lot of people is like, you knew this was going to be bad. Like, we all knew this was going to be bad, but it was to another
for this.
Dude, it was another level tonight, John. Trust me.
Okay, maybe honestly, maybe I'll watch it back.
It trust me. Like, I try not to get overly upset about that type of stuff. It will annoy me, and I might mention it, but this was next level, dude.
I'm glad I didn't see it. I mean, I'll watch the entire game tomorrow night, so I'll probably experience the same thing. Okay. Murray, appreciate you. He says the best thing that happened tonight was Alabama losing to Vandy, LMAO. That really made my night. Take that, ESPN. The funny thing is that doesn't even impact ESPN. Guess what? Alabama's still making their playoff.
They're fine.
They're fine.
They lose 2 more. We're talking about this, John. They lose 2 more games.
Again.
They're fine.
12-team playoff. Alabama's not going anywhere. They were number 1 in the country. Okay. All right. I trust the chat. I trust the chat. All right. I see John says, Jim is right. Broncos is tough to listen. Okay. What if the Padres win a game? How are they going to treat it if the Padres go up 8-0 tomorrow?
How will the Dodgers respond?
Right. It's true. No, it's true. While we have a moment, guys, if you are new to the channel and if you have not yet signed up for Underdog, now is the time to do it. You can play pick'ems, and they'll give you the first pick. They'll give you their first pick. You can play pick'ems, and you can use promo code PODSRAP, and they'll give you a 50% deposit match up to $1,000 as well. Just use promo code PODSRAP. That's PADSWRAP. Click the link in the description down below. It'll make the broadcast better because you've got money on the line. So if you want the 50% deposit match, if you want the gimme first picks, if you want highly discounted picks, all you got to do is click the link in the description down below and use promo code PODSRAP. That's PADSWRAP. Take advantage, play the pick'ems. You can win 1,000 times your money in a single night. 1,000 times. You can play Padres pick'ems tomorrow for game 2 of the series. So click that link in the description down below or scan the QR code, play along, win big. Use promo code PODSRAP, PADSWRAP.
Again, like, I don't think you understand. It's nothing you say in the chat can affect me. It's
Correct.
Just nothing.
We've been doing this for years, guys.
I am Teflon. You're not going to affect me. I will sleep perfectly fine tonight. Once this is over with,
dude,
I will not remember any troll in the chat.
Not the trolls. Yeah, not the trolls.
So thank you for watching, and thank you for giving us views, which correlates to us getting paid money. So we appreciate you.
By the way, my light went out. JD Gotcha, thank you. Says Joe paired with Mud would have been better theater.
In a situation like that, I don't even like. I love Don and Mud, and I wouldn't want them on the national broadcast. I just wouldn't. I wish they would have found somebody other than Joe Davis to be the national guy to overtake for Buck.
What's happened in Miami Cal? Someone's put on the Miami Cal game. Is it getting crazy?
We're not doing this again.
No, we're not. I know. We're not tonight.
They're up 38-18, and now it's 38-32 with 1:50 left in the fourth quarter.
What?
It's 4th and 8. Cal has the ball on their 46.
What? Okay.
So Miami's going to get the ball back with 1:50 left to go down and win.
YouTube TV, I'm turning you on.
Dude, I'm not doing this.
The guy followed up by saying you are that guy.
I'm what guy?
I don't know. Remember, he criticized you like 1 minute ago.
Okay.
Oh, we're going to stick around for the end of this Miami game together. Hold on. Let me just see. HBBV, thank you. He says, need Snellzilla. Got to punch it, Doyer.
They're not going to get Snell this series, bro.
He's not pitching this series. Now, the Musgrove thing and what it means for your offseason. The offseason's long. Why can't we just talk about the offseason during the offseason?
I'm not even thinking about that right now.
Okay, JD Gacho, this is very on brand. Vandy fans tossed a goalpost into the river.
Dude, did you see this?
That was incredible. I saw it.
Yeah.
He says UCSB fans threw a goalpost into the ocean after beating UCLA men's soccer for a national title. Thank you, JD Gacho. Appreciate that. I mean, the Vandy thing's ridiculous. Come on, Vandy beating Alabama. Give me a break.
Dude, do you see what happened at the end of that game? Vandy on the PA played a quote from Nick Saban saying how easy it was to play at Vandy. He's like, the SEC's hard to play at except for Vanderbilt.
That's crazy, dude.
They took the fucking goalpost through the entire city to the lake.
Like Nashville.
Yeah, they were just walking through the streets with the freaking goalpost.
Crazy, dude. That was insane.
There was so this day, and like my mom's in town, so it was hard for me to keep up with a lot of things, but this is one of the crazier sports days that I can remember in a while.
It's been the college football day has been bonkers. This game we've been talking about.
Oh, what a
for 2
punt!
hours,
What
obviously.
a punt!
This is a good punt. Oh, we're tying together. Are we
Inside the
really
10,
gonna watch
bro.
this?
No,
Let's
college football
watch
is
the
not.
final drive.
Fine.
Everyone put it on. We know you don't
degenerates
care.
out
We
there.
don't care either. That's the thing. We know it's the Padres wrap-up show.
Right.
Nobody
We're
cares.
We're pretty much done with the show. We're just gonna.
No, hold
be
on.
degenerates
If you
here.
guys want to weigh in, we can get to it. Like this one from Murray. He says, if Ohtani changed baseball, what did Root do in 1920 after the Black Sox scandal?
Ohtani didn't change
Babe Ruth
baseball.
was kind of a big deal.
Ohtani didn't change baseball, bro. He had an
like,
unbelievable
in my opinion,
year.
If anything, is baseball is baseball more popular today than it was 10 years ago?
No.
Pre-Ohtani?
Not even close.
I don't think so. Are you a second ahead of me? Where are you with that guy that's motioning out of the backfield?
Oh,
Hold on.
no. Oh, no.
Oh, my God.
Oh, no.
Dude, Shildt.
Oh, no. Cal.
Dude, I told you to pull this up. Hold on. Hit pause for you're 1 second ahead of me. Hit pause and then unpause. Did you see the woman celebrating with the other woman?
Yeah, but I'm past that. I see like
Hit pause one more time.
the fans.
Okay,
Okay,
I'm
now
seeing the fan. Now I see Miami huddle.
Now huddle. Yeah, I'm in the huddle.
Okay.
Oh, no.
This is like the greatest game ever played.
The algorithm's going to be destroyed after this.
People are like, what are you guys talking about? We have like diehard baseball fans with us.
We just spent an hour and a half on this. Hold on.
Don't tell me what happens. All right, a little quick flare to the receiver.
Okay. Get him down, dude. What the fuck?
So you're all in on Cal here?
All in on Cal.
Really?
Yeah.
If I'm Miami, I'm not trying to score too quick. So they got this.
What kind of
Steven
coverage
was
are
the
you
one that told us
running?
to put it on. So thank you. Listen, I will say this as we watch this Miami Cal game together, which makes no sense on the Padres wrap-up show following game one of the NLDS. I will say this. Game two,
Everything.
again, it wasn't, we're not saying panic. Nobody said hour and a half. Nobody said series over, season over.
No.
I'm just saying it wasn't great. No. And some of the decisions made weren't great. And they can bounce back. We saw 2022. Padres could win the series in 4 games. I'm not saying they can.
Like, tonight was mostly not mostly, but flag, nice. Huge. Tonight was about tonight's game. Like I put out the tweet, not time to panic. Yeah, it's time to regroup, change your strategy against Ohtani, and go out tomorrow in a must-win game. That's it, you know? Now, they lose tomorrow, then we're panic mode. 100%. Mm-hmm. But if they win tomorrow, guess what? That changes everything. The goal was to split. That was the goal. And it's still obtainable. You know, you blew a lead tonight. You made some awful decisions pitching to Ohtani and then walking bets with 2 strikes and going 2 for 11 with runners in scoring position and Manny Machado having that horrible error and then not coming through in the 9th inning. But if they win tomorrow, everything has changed, in my opinion.
You stole home field, and you're right where you need to be. 1-1. I said earlier this week that game 1 is equally as important as game 2. None is more important than the other.
They desperately need a good performance from Darvish. Minimum 5 innings, nothing less.
Yes, yeah, 5 innings, 1 run. Give me something real, you know. And that offense, like Jack Flaherty, like you said, doesn't have great career numbers against the Padres, and his last couple of starts, he wasn't great.
Yeah, you got it. But it's not about like they've been great getting to the starters. Can they get to the bullpen? When the Dodgers go to their bullpen, if the Padres are trailing, can they get to the Dodgers bullpen? Again, if you can't get to the Dodgers bullpen or any bullpen for that fact, you're not going to you're you're not going to win. And that's it's as simple as that. Like, they haven't scored off of any bullpen in the postseason this yet, right? Yeah, they didn't score off the Braves bullpen, and they pitched majority of that 2-game series, and you didn't score off the Dodgers bullpen tonight. Dodgers fans, you have to be such loser to come on another team's postgame chat. I mean,
it's fine. It's part of it. I mean,
it's fine.
It is
Again,
what it is.
Watch us. It gives us views, and it's all. I mean, hit that like button too while you're at it.
Well, we're not going
Dodgers fans, we love you. I mean, obviously, we do this for you guys, and we don't do this for troll Dodger fans. But anyway,
just keep digging, Jim. Just keep talking.
I give 2 shits. I don't care.
I know. Are we sticking around till the end of this game? I think we have to. It was like Washington State, freaking whatever we watched the other night.
Yeah, I guess.
I don't even remember who played Washington State in that game. Was it San Jose State?
Yeah, San Jose State.
Game was incredible.
And if you're a Dodger fan and you watch us, like, and you're respectful. I mean, respectful.
Oh yeah, respectful. That's great.
Yeah,
and he's a baseball fan.
I don't hate all Dodger fans. Richard's in the chat all the time. Richard's a great Dodger fan.
Yes.
And JD Gaucho, others, like, you got Mark BNSD on social media. He's a great guy.
Yeah, no doubt.
He's not a fucking troll loser.
Interesting. Rolo Edits doesn't sub because he says sub if you're a Padres fan. Okay, that's fair. Oh, I think he threw past the line of scrimmage, Jim.
Yeah, bro.
I think he threw past the line of scrimmage, Jim.
Yeah, bro. 4th down. They called him out.
That's a first down.
No, it's showing 4th down right now.
They're wrong.
Oh, what the fuck? That's a first down.
And by the way, was he past the line of scrimmage when he threw that ball?
I didn't see it. They're not saying nothing.
No,
First and
really
goal.
not.
1st and goal, 37 seconds left. Oh, God.
Thank you, Sean, for subscribing. Everyone subscribe. Just subscribe if you're here. Just hit the subscribe button. Be a man.
Just do it all. Thank you. Padres in 4. Let's go.
Slot 9 Easy wants to know if Cease got pulled too soon. I don't think so, man. He was laboring. He threw a ton of pitches.
He didn't get pulled too soon. He didn't have a good game. He has pitched better.
Are they reviewing this?
They might be.
I'm telling you, you know me. I watched this thing in real time. I thought he was past the line of scrimmage. He's got to be at least a yard past it, I think.
Your college football eye is much better than mine right now.
I'm on it.
You're on it.
Thank you, Rolo. Look at this. Rolo at its sub. Appreciate you, man. After all that, just sub if you're here. Hold on. Watch this, dude. 25 is the line of scrimmage, right?
Mm-hmm.
Dude, he got real quick. Dude, he just took off like whoop.
No, he's fine.
Are you
his
sure?
Foot, yeah, his foot was behind.
You said no, he's fine.
Looks fine to me.
We'll see, dude. It's kind of a big play. They have to make it okay for Miami. Miami's got to win every game in the ACC. They want it, right? That's like the rules, like the Hail Mary last week.
First down.
Oh, my gosh.
Legal.
Cal was up 25 in this game, Jim.
They're up 38-18, bro.
I think they're up 38, like a 13.
The world is about to end.
Look at David redeeming all of everyone. Thank you for the super. Says I'm a huge Dodger fan, but you guys are as cool as shit. I don't know if that means we're cool as shit or as cool as shit, which isn't as cool.
Appreciate
but
you.
He says I have to admit, we appreciate you, man. We appreciate you. Listen, we do. Thank you for your support. All right, we're gonna stay with you here, even though nobody's watching other than me and Jim. Okay.
Shit.
Blowing up a play.
They have no timeouts, right? No, they have 2.
I'm taking that time out there.
What a play.
Rockets watching. If you're put it in the chat, are you watching this game or not watching this game? Just put in the chat, watching or not watching in the chat right now. If you're here live, put it in the chat right now. Watching, not watching. Oh, Michael Irvin is looking on nervously.
Thanks, Junior.
Thanks, Junior. Yeah, sure. Jim will freak out every once in a while, and I'll freak out every once in a while. Let's be honest.
Yeah. Like tonight.
Look at all these people. Okay, but look at all these people watching.
Nope.
Nope. What? Are you pulling them up?
I'm not touching it.
Oh, I didn't pull that up.
Oh, sorry.
hold on, I'm just clicking through. I mean,
Freeman
some
was
good
not
play.
out, by the way. They challenged the play at second when he stole second base. It looked like he may have come off the bag, but it was such a hard call and it was indisputable, I think. And they called him safe on the field, so they had to
There's
go with
actually a
that.
lot of people watching. We've got at least like 20 to 30 people watching this right
Trust
now.
me, if I would have called him out, but it's tough.
Yeah, that's because we're biased. Second and goal, folks. Miami's down 6 with 32 seconds left. They're just
what a play. What
Okay.
a fucking play.
That was beautiful. Miami has tied it up. They're an extra point away from a lead with less than 30 seconds to play. I don't know what that play is. San Diego's did all right. It's like the zone read option throw. It looked good. Michael Irvin's loving life.
Michael Irvin. What a game. College game day always picks like the best games to go to.
I mean, this has worked out.
Did you watch College game day this morning?
Yeah, some of it.
Holy shit.
Some of the signs were unbelievable.
Oh, it was a top tier college game day. And the kid makes the kick for $100,000.
Oh my gosh, I know. Some of the signs were so
Pat
good.
McAfee's like,
I'm here.
He's like, I'm so high.
Some of the signs were so good. Like, I thought I was here because I thought there was a protest. That was good,
shit, dude.
I only do lines of code. Like, what?
Lines of code. Get it? Because they're all smart and nerds.
Lord. Man, we have lost our minds tonight. Imagine
Why
if
is
the Padres
481 people still watching us?
I'm just so shit. When they were up 3-0, dude, I'm like, everything's going perfectly. Padres are going to win this game.
When they're up 5-3, I'm like, okay, they weathered the storm. Yeah. Great answer. Let's go.
I know.
Like, it's like they had 2 moments in the game. They were up 3-0, and the Ohtani thing was just a fucking joke. But then they responded the very next half inning, and Bogarts had a massive double. I think it was a double. Yeah, it was a double down the line. And they go up 5-3. And you're like, all right, Cease, you need to go out there and give this team at least 5. And Cease fucking shit the bed.
Can you imagine but there's 26 seconds in this game. Do you think Cal could get in field goal range?
Yeah, I do.
I mean, they could.
I mean, theoretically, you got like 2 play. Oh my God, Cal kid's crying.
I don't blame him, dude. This is like the biggest Cal football game ever.
The stadium is packed.
Packed, dude.
Oh, Cal. I'm so disappointed in you. But at least this will kill the Calgorithm, which has turned into
thing got so overplayed.
It's turned into a national thing, which is not cool anymore. It was fun.
It was
while
only
it was
cool
like
when it was like under the radar.
Yeah, now it's just like when ESPN starts posting about it, it's like, you're not funny. Stop.
Completely agree.
I like the old school helmets too.
Yeah, they're cool.
Please give us something crazy. Come on.
Okay, here we go.
Nice protection. Throw. What are you doing? Oh, you idiot.
Come on, man.
Blue 22.
Okay, can I just block Landon? Landon, I'm going to block you. It's just fun.
Hold on. What is he saying? I want to see what he says.
Look at his last 5. 0 rings.
There's like,
and then.
Okay. Yeah, eat shit. Block him.
Yeah, I'm blocking you. You're an idiot.
Yeah.
We block nobody.
It's so easy. So easy.
We just don't care.
So easy. Oh shit! Targeting.
I was thinking that. JD Gotcha, thanks so much. He says, if game day came to SDSU, where would they hold it? Parking lot?
No, they would hold it on campus somewhere, right?
On campus?
Yeah.
Like,
Brock, how many years have Padres actually spent to win? Is that even like English? What he was trying to say? How many years have Padres actually spent to win?
Oh, like how many times? No, have they tried? You're saying in their history, have they always tried to win? Maybe not.
What are you talking about? No spell. Oh, he's on our side. Just kidding.
Okay. Yeah, relax, Jim. Freaking Jim gets
Sorry.
a little excited.
Sorry, Brock. You're my boy. You're my boy, Brock. Yes, lovely Lisa, 1984. You're absolutely right about that. But actually, Dodger fans are worse. Not all of them, but a lot of them.
Hold on, third down.
What the fuck are you doing?
My God, dude.
Can
Complete a
you
pass?
remember how, real quick, since we're like near the end of this, remember how I said, and we had a plea for nobody to do any stupid like rap songs or YouTube videos or anything?
Did someone do it?
This kid Fetty Raps or whatever his name is. Like,
I mean, you can't
you're not
stop all
fun. Like,
people.
dude, you're not funny. I know what you're doing. You're trying to seek attention by being a troll.
Right.
It's not funny. Like, nobody thinks what you're doing is cool. It's just not. You're just setting yourself up to look like an idiot every single time you do something like that. So just like, stop. I mean, I get it. One of your videos blew up, but you want to know why it blew up? Because people were making fun of you, dude. They weren't saying it was cool. They were saying you're an idiot and you're cringe and you're not funny. That's why it blew up that one time, whenever it was. And people were making fun of you. So if you're okay with a video of yours blowing up because people were making fun of you, then I guess good on you or whatever, but you're not funny. You're not creative. And what you do is just plain cringe. So stop.
That's well said.
And James, if you want to clip that and post it and put it with him, fine. Tag him, whatever. It's just,
I don't know who he is, so I don't even know what the hell you're talking about.
it's some like kid that thinks, I don't even know.
Oh my gosh.
shit.
Are they going to like cover in this game? They went down. Did you see that?
Yeah, it's bad.
Dude, Miami's just freaking, they got some magic on their side. The freaking Hail Mary. And then this, they were down 35-10. What'd you say?
Richard's like, jack me off. You're an idiot.
Dude, Ashton Genty. I don't even know what the hell we're talking about right now.
Okay, first off, man, with this, if Ashton Genty doesn't win the Heisman, and the whole thing's rigged.
He's not going to probably, but he'll be in New York as a
You can't have. What do you have? Like 1,600 yards in his first 5 games of the year and 16 touchdowns. And
no, 1,000 yards and 16 touchdowns.
Okay, for your first 5 games of the year, you have over 1,000 yards and 16 touchdowns. And if you're going to win the Heisman. Sorry,
you should. This is an amazing super chat, Jim. Matt, thank you. Who hates the Padres more, Jeff Bassan, Ken Rosenthal, Brian Kenny, or Bob Nightingale with a K in front of his name? I'd probably say actually Brian Kenny in that list.
Dude, look at this.
I know, legal man downfield.
Holy shit.
Miami. All right, let's do this again. What time's the game tomorrow, you said?
5:08.
Let's do this again tomorrow following game 2. Essentially a must-win. Without it being a must-win, it's a must-win. You can't go down 2-0 and feel good about your chances.
It's a must-win.
Yu Darvish is capable. This offense is capable. The Padres got to pick themselves up tomorrow. Simple as that. You got to hit Jack Flaherty. And to everyone's point, you're going to have to hit the bullpen a little bit. And you just, 1 run more. 1-0, 6-5, 16-15. Got to get tomorrow. Just gotta get tomorrow. And then you get back home and the momentum has swung and you've stolen home field. And it's like deja vu all over again of 2022. But you got to get tomorrow.
I'll tell you what, though, so far, it does feel like this Padres-Dodgers matchup is like a level above everybody else, right?
It's epic.
I mean, it is.
If the Padres can win a game or 2 or 3.
I mean, that game tonight, that was a fucking epic game to watch. I mean, from the first pitch, you're on the edge of your seat. It was epic. And hopefully it lives up. And I hope it goes, I hope it goes 5, and I pray that the Padres come out on top.
Guys, if you wouldn't mind on our way out, first of all, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. Year-round content, all right? So smash the like button. In season, out of season. So smash the like button, subscribe, follow us on X, at John Schaefer, at Jim Russell ST. We've been here for 2 hours. My light already died. Thank you for the super thanks if you're here on replay. Thank you for those that become members by clicking the join button. Back tomorrow night for game 2 as the Padres go down a game to the Dodgers. They lose game 1 7-5 up at Dodger Stadium. And game 2 is Sunday at 5:08. We will catch up post-game right here on the wrap-up show. Please support our partners, Mark Nimitz at Farmers Insurance. If you have an insurance need, click the link in the description down below. He will save you time and money. MOVA Globes, all 30 teams officially licensed. Click the link in the description down below. Use promo code PWS10 and get 10% off. That's PWS10. And Underdog Fantasy, use promo code PODSWRAP and get a 50% deposit match. Promo code PODSWRAP. Play along beginning tomorrow with Pick'ems in the MLB postseason. Promo code PODSWRAP, PADSWRAP. Get a 50% deposit match. For Jim, I'm John. We'll see you tomorrow night. This has been the wrap-up show. Thanks, guys.